Hello friends, this is Lucky from Lucky Law. Today we are going to discuss about the power of courts. It is the chapter number 3 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, in which there is a specifically described the powers of the criminal court. First of all, there is a section 26 who categorize the what offense is triable by the what court. In this section specifically mentioned there is the courts like the London High Court, the Court of Session, or any other court by which such offense is shown in the first schedule to be triable. फर्स्ट शेड्यूल आपका जो हमारी सीआरपीसी का जो बेयर एक्ट है उसके लास्ट चैप्टर जब आपके सेक्शन ख़त्म हो जाते हैं तो देन इट गॉट स्टार्टेड एंड देयर इज़ अ कैटेगरी मेंशन्ड कि कौन सा ऑफेंस जो है वो किस के पास ट्राइबल है. मीन टू से कि अगर आपने कोई ऑफेंस किया, सपोज मान लीजिए इफ़ देयर इज़ एनी ऑफेंस ऑफ अ थेफ्ट, तो ये सेशन ट्रायल है या ट्राइबल बाय मैजिस्ट्रेट है या ट्राइबल बाय हाई कोर्ट है, वहाँ पे ये सारा मेंशन किया हुआ है. इन जनरली the offense which is not a very serious in nature, I mean to say in which the punishment is less than 3 years, they are mostly triable by the judicial magistrate. But the offenses of a serious nature like murder, rape, or any other such a serious offenses, they are triable by the session trial. In this section, section 26 is very specifically mentioned this thing, that the offenses which is committed under section 376 A, B, C, D, E, these are tried as far as shall be tried. Mean to say कि ये shall be tried means you have an option, आपको जो कोड में देख के रखा हुआ है मीन टू से वही करना होगा. shall be tried as far as practicable by a court presided over by a beamon. मीन टू से वहाँ पे आपकी beamon जज होगी. This is the mandatory condition and it must be followed by whenever there is an offense committed under section 376 or 376 A to E. Then we come to the its as we have already discussed that there is a first schedule which decides the jurisdiction of the criminal courts. According to that, all the offense must be tried. मीन टू से कि उस फर्स्ट शेड्यूल में दे के रखा कि कौन से कोर्ट में आपका जो भी ऑफेंस होता है वो ट्राइबल है. अगर कहीं पे ऐसा ना दे के रखा हो तो आपका सेक्शन 26 क्लॉज बी बोलता है कि वो या तो हाई कोर्ट में ट्राइबल होगा या तो वो अनदर कोर्ट बाय विच द ऑफेंस इज शोन इन द फर्स्ट शेड्यूल, या तो वो फर्स्ट शेड्यूल के अनुसार जहाँ पे डिफाइन हो वहाँ पे ट्रायल होगा. Now we will discuss the section 27, jurisdiction in the case of a juvenile. First of all, we have to clear about the word used here, juvenile. Who is juvenile? Juvenile is the person who brought to the court who has the age of 16 year. मीन टू से उसकी एज जो है अंडर द एज ऑफ 16 ईयर, मीन उसकी जो एज 16 साल से कम होनी चाहिए. कब? जब उसको मे बी ट्राइड बाय द जब कोर्ट के सामने उसको लाया गया. दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग कि आप जुवेनाइल कैसे डिसाइड करोगे. जुवेनाइल डिसाइड करने के लिए जब किसी एक्यूज्ड को कोर्ट के सामने पेश किया गया तो उसकी एज जो है वो 16 साल से कम होनी चाहिए। और अब इसके बाद मैटर ये आता है कि who will decide the if any offense is committed by a juvenile. Then section 27 clearly mention, अगर if आपका offense जो juvenile ने किया है, if it is not punishable with death or life imprisonment, in that case the offense committed by juvenile is tried by the chief judicial magistrate, CJM. CJM can try this case. Or specifically, if there is any specifically empowered court under the Children Act 1960, then or any other law any other law जो उस टाइम जुवेनाइल्स के ऊपर इन्फोर्स करता हो कि अगर किसी जुवेनाइल ने अगर कोई ऑफेंस किया है तो वो इस कोर्ट में उसका ट्रायल चलेगा उस हिसाब से. Then we come to the section 28, sentence which High Court and a session judge may. These are the powers of the court. Now we discuss. First of all, we will discuss the powers of the High Court. High Court has the ultimate power source. High Court can pass any sentence. It is the clearly mentioned in section 28 that subclause 1. High Court can pass any sentence authorized by law. Then we come to the session judge and additional session judge. Session judge and additional session judge. Any session judge and additional session judge have a power to pass any sentence which is conferred on him by law. Any sentence authorized by law, but sentence if, but here is the some kind of condition imposed on the session and additional session judge. If any offense in which sentence of a death is passed, then there is a prior confirmation from the High Court is mandatory. Then we come to the assistant session judge. Assistant session judge has the power to pass a sentence not more than 10 years. Then we have a chief judicial magistrate. It is defined under section 29. High Court, session court, additional session judge, the assistant session judge, all these powers are defined in section 28. But the chief judicial magistrate, a first class judicial magistrate, or a metropolitan magistrate, second class magistrate, or a special metropolitan magistrate, all these powers are defined in section 29. Chief judicial magistrate has a power to imprisonment up to 7 years and a fine authorized by law. Or a first class judicial magistrate and a metropolitan magistrate has a power to pass the imprisonment not more than 3 years or a fine up to 10,000. And in case of a second class judicial magistrate or a special judicial magistrate or a special metropolitan magistrate, all they have a power imprisonment up to 1 year or fine up to 5,000. Here is the word used, metropolitan magistrate. What is the metropolitan area? Metropolitan area is your defined of this code under section of 8. Mean to say, agar this is the power, it is the power of the state government who can declare any area, any town whose population exceed 1 million, mean to say 10 lakh. Then state government can declare that area is a metropolitan area. Mean to say, the state government may by notification declare that as from such date as may be specified in the notification, any area in the state comprising a city or a town whose population exceeds a 1 million 10 lakh shall be a metropolitan area for the purpose of this court. And in that area, the magistrate who is going to appoint is a metropolitan magistrate. And a metropolitan magistrate has the same power as the court or the judicial magistrate first class. Now, the most important thing, sentence of imprisonment in default of a fine. अगर कोई अक्यूज आपका डिफॉल्ट कर जाता है, फाइन नहीं भरता है, बोलता है मैंने फाइन देना ही नहीं, तो इन दैट सर्कमस्टांस कोर्ट क्या करेगा? द कोर्ट ऑफ मैजिस्ट्रेट में अवॉर्ड सच टर्म ऑफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट इन डिफॉल्ट ऑफ पेमेंट ऑफ फाइन एज इज ऑथराइज्ड बाय लॉ. तो कोर्ट जो है उसको डिफॉल्ट के अगर फाइन नहीं भरता है कोई एक्यूज, तो उस टाइम वो उसके बिहाफ पे मतलब फाइन ना देने के, तो उसको इम्प्रिजनमेंट दे सकता है. जैसा आपका सेक्शन 30 क्लियरली बोलता है कि द कोर्ट ऑफ अ मैजिस्ट्रेट में अवॉर्ड सच टर्म ऑफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट इन डिफॉल्ट ऑफ अ पेमेंट ऑफ फाइन एज इज ऑथराइज्ड बाय लॉ provided, but there is a condition mentioned in section 30. जो आपका मैजिस्ट्रेट की जो पावर दे के रखी है इम्प्रिजनमेंट की, सेक्शन 29 की, सेक्शन 29 में क्या बोलता है? सेक्शन 29 ये बोलता है कि मैजिस्ट्रेट जो आपकी जो जुरिस्डिक्शन है मैजिस्ट्रेट की अगर इम्प्रिजनमेंट करने की, वो 3 साल से ज़्यादा नहीं है, तो वो उसको एक्सीड नहीं करना चाहिए जब भी वो पनिशमेंट दे रहा हो. और shall not where imprisonment has been awarded as a part of exceed 1/4 of term of imprisonment which the magistrate is competent to inflict. Mean to say, अगर कोई डिफॉल्ट होता है और वो नहीं देता है, अक्यूज्ड जो है वो फाइन नहीं भरता है, तो in that circumstance magistrate has the power to impose a imprisonment not up to 3 years. तो 3 साल का 3/4 कितना है 1/4 1/4 उससे ज़्यादा नहीं दे सकता. देर इज अ 1 year is equal to 12 month and 3 year is equal to 36 month and 36/1/4 that is equal to 9. Mean to say, in default of imprisonment, in default of a fine, the magistrate cannot pass additional imprisonment up to 9 years. This is what the section 30 is actually wants to clear. Because magistrate is competent to pass imprisonment of a 3 year and there is a 12 month in 1 year, 12 into 3 is equal to 36, and here is clearly mentioned that shall not exceed the 1/4 of the term of the imprisonment which the magistrate is competent to inflict as a punishment. Mean to say 36 divided by 4, that is equal to 9 months, and this punishment which is awarded under this section may be in addition to the substantive sentence of imprisonment for the maximum term triable by the magistrate under section 29. Now we are going to discuss the very beauty of this code of criminal procedure. See, there is a section 26 which provides that offense under Indian Penal Code may be tried by the High Court or the Court of Session or any other court by which such offense is shown to be triable by in the first schedule. There is a offense of a 420 IPC. Where is the imprisonment of the 7 years but it is tried by the first class magistrate, and the magistrate has a power to pass only imprisonment not more than 3 years. And here is the punishment under section 420 is the 7 year. तो ये एक ब्यूटी है इस कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर की कि इसका मोटिव ये है कि जो आपके जो ऑफेंसेस हुए हैं, जो ऑफेंस हैं, ताकि सोसाइटी में एक एक डर रहना चाहिए कि वो ऑफेंस जो करेगा वो उसमें 7 साल तक की जेल हो सकती है. दिस इज व्हाट इज द पर्पस behind it. The trial as the first schedule can award an imprisonment only up to 3 years or a rupees of 10,000, but the offence in which the punishment is up to 7 years. It is just the main purpose just to have a deterrent effect on the society, so the people refrain or restrain from committing such crimes. There is a section 138 of a Negotiation Instrument Act in which the punishment is double of the amount if the check dishonored, and if suppose there is a check of a 10 lakh and it got a dishonored, then the magistrate will impose when he passed the judgment is 20 lakh. But the magistrate has the power to impose a fine only 10,000. This is what. So it is just to refrain the society to commit such kind of offense. There is the more power which is defined under this code. Suppose there is an offense. There is offense committed under section 323, 376. Here, the section 323 is the trial by the judicial magistrate of the first class, but the section 376 which is trial by the session judge. So who will try this? There is a few section जिसमें जो कुछ सेक्शन जो हैं वो आपके मैजिस्ट्रेट के द्वारा ट्रायबल हैं, कुछ सेक्शन आपके जो हैं सेशन कोर्ट के द्वारा ट्रायबल हैं. तो फिर ये कौन करेगा? तो ये सेशन करेगा. हमारे CR Code of Criminal Procedure states mentioned clearly that the session court will be decided. But the challan which put under this section that firstly go through the judicial magistrate first class under section 173 as defined, then it will magistrate will commit this challan to the session judge under section 193 of the CRPC. Whenever there is an offense, any kind of offense, there is a police will submit his report, a very famous known as the police challan or a police report, which is submitted after the investigation completed to the magistrate under section 173. If magistrate is in the view it comes to the magistrate को लगता है कि ये जो चालान जो उसने पुट किया है पुलिस आईओ ने, in that circumstance it is जो offense हुआ है उसमें that is trial by the magistrate, then magistrate can commit this to session judge. This is the beauty of this कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर कि अगर कोई भी ऑफेंस हो, अगर वो मैजिस्ट्रेट के द्वारा ट्रायल हो, पुलिस डायरेक्ट जो है अगर कोई भी ऑफेंस आपका सेशन जज के द्वारा ट्रायबल है तो भी पुलिस जो है आपकी डायरेक्टली कैन नॉट अप्रोच टू द सेशन जज. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पुलिस हैज़ टू अप्रोच टू द जुडिशियल मैजिस्ट्रेट ऑफ द फर्स्ट क्लास, then the magistrate will forward it to the session judge.